Panthers, back on the Bossman show, friend of the show from right here in Atlanta. Our man Jeremy Ballard, FIU Panthers coach, talk to us good that you guys in Miami, man.
Boss man, I appreciate you having me on, man. It's always a blessing to talk to my peeps in Atlanta. But we're doing great down here in Miami. We got a little bit of a cold front. We're in the low 60s, which that stands for a cold front down here in the 305. But we're doing great.
Coach, about the March, man. I talked off the air about how my situation with how things were down on my birthday, March 11th. So tell me about it for your players, man. You know, you guys are getting ready for a tournament probably, and all of a sudden you see stuff starting to get canceled. So how is that going from playing ball to going home for your players and not coming back and seeing you guys until after everything died down to keeping the grades up? How was that whole crazy month of March through the summer here for you guys?
Yeah, I tell you what, it was truly a blur, and I know this word has been worn out over the last 9 months or so, but it was really unprecedented. We had just played our first round tournament game in the Conference USA tournament. We had just beaten Rice. We were walking into our pregame video session before we went to shoot around. We were supposed to play Charlotte in the tournament that day, and we got the call that it was canceled. And it seems it's crazy to think back on this, but at this time we didn't know what that meant. We thought that we might resume the tournament a week later. We thought the NCAA tournament might still be on. We thought things might calm down in a couple of weeks, and I mean, here we are now. We're still spiking all over the country. So, it really hurt because we felt like we had a team that could finish the season in a special way and, potentially win the tournament and be a part of March Madness. And we had some great seniors that just had their careers ended absolutely unceremoniously, and they had awesome careers. So that was very sad. But as a coach, this really supports, that old adage that every time we step out there, we have to play like it's our last game, because you literally never know when that might be the case. And the same thing goes for this year. You see games being canceled and postponed all over the country. So, every time we get a chance to step out on the court, man, we're grateful for it and know how fortunate we are to even be able to play this game.
And I feel for seniors because they want to get that chance to when it's my last game, take off the jersey one last time, have that moment, hug their family, hug their teammates, and it's just like done, poof, voila, it's gone. And I mean, the emptiness they must feel. I feel for your seniors because I know you guys were playing well and had the opportunity to do some things, and it's just they're ripped from you like nothing. It's over, and then now I have to go move. Now I'm back into my life now. No more ball for me. How do you how to help your seniors kind of cope with that over these past few months?
Yeah, it was tough because, what you're talking about, there was no closure. We didn't get to have that moment where they check out the game for the final time and the coaches hug them and, the team give them a standing ovation. We didn't get to have that speech in the locker room thanking them in front of the whole team because, we had to end like that. I mean, we were on the plane trying to get back and be safe and figure it out. And like I said, we thought we still might be playing in a postseason, that the season might have just been on pause for a couple of weeks. But, what we always preach to our guys is that, this basketball is just a fleeting part of their life. It's important. It's my livelihood. It's something that obviously I'm incredibly passionate about. But, these are 2-year, 4-year times in their life where we coach them, but we're going to be a part of their life for the rest of their life. So, we just let them know we're always there for them. We're helping them in their next walks of life and figuring out their career path and their journey. So, we just let them know we love them and that we're there for them.
Academically, Coach, how was that for your young men? Because I know some kids can't deal with online and need an in-person setting and having study halls with academic advisors. So the coaches can kind of monitor that. So losing that structure academically, how did your players handle that going back home, and how did you all keep them accountable when they're trying to keep the grades up while they're away and they're back in their home environments there?
Well, this is all due credit to our players as well as our academic advisor, Shirley, our coaching staff, and helping hold the guys accountable. But they did well. And we do have a mix of online classes here that our guys are enrolled in. But, I mean, we finished with over a 3.0 team GPA. And they really showed some maturity in handling, these crazy times. And they were crazy times. And we're still trying to figure it out. And I'm not going to say we're all perfect and not all A's, but our guys have certainly done a good job and have continued to be successful in the classroom.
Coach Ballard, now how did you keep your young men's mind sharp? I know you and I, we're a little older than they are, So dealing with the pandemic, dealing with the racial unrest in the country, dealing with everything that's going on here in Georgia, the virus going out of control in Florida there for a while. So how'd you keep their mind sharp so that they won't get depressed and get down about everything that's going around them?
Yeah, I just think that we just have an open door policy, whether that's virtually, through Zooms or FaceTimes, what have you. We just want to constantly be present and a present force in their lives and talk about all things. But basketball always being on the back burner of that, So we had talked about the social unrest and the racial strife that was going on. We had talked, obviously we talk about the virus and COVID protocols all the time. And we're always talking to them about their future and how basketball and the discipline and the sacrifice and the commitment that we're asking and demanding of them in basketball, how that translates to the real life and what it's going to be when they leave here. So we're just always talking with them. We're always trying to let them know that our care for them comes first and foremost, and the relationships are everything. And what we do, and it's something we certainly value.
Most definitely, because I know trust right now is a big thing with people, but with this environment we're in the wide world, man. So the fact that you guys actually care about that and really prioritizing caring about living on your players and trusting them, trusting you. So I think that's a great thing you're doing because some kids don't still need it and are not getting what they need from their coach right now, but you all are doing it. So I'm glad to hear that from you and your staff, man.
Thank you. There's plenty of things I do not do a good job of in coaching. So one thing that I put at the top of my priorities that we need to be elite at is relationship building and caring for our guys. And our guys know we're there for them. They know we rock with them. They know we have their back and we'll hold them down at all times. And I think that we believe in them. And I think that counts for more than anything else.
As you got your guys back, Coach Ballard, did you all have to do a slow ramp up? Because I knew you want to avoid those nagging soft tissue injuries in the hamstrings and the groins and quads and an ankle or a knee that lingers. How did you ramp your guys back up so they wouldn't get injured just trying to go too hard, too fast?
Yeah, that's a great question. We had a slow wind up to getting to 5-on-5 competing and what we're used to basketball looking like, on a practice court. We really utilized our contacts in the NBA and people that, went through their guys having a long layoff and how they built their guys up to get them ready for competition. Our strength coach, Coach Jack Sprague, did a phenomenal job putting a plan together, having a vision in place. Our athletic training staff did a great job. And we did a lot of small group workouts. And we really took our time in terms of, but before we were competing 5-on-5 and contact stuff. And that's counter to who we normally are. I mean, because of the way we play, we get at it in practice and we're getting up and down, probably as much as anyone. So we really had to take a step back and make sure we were doing what was best for the long-term well-being of our young men.
So I would assume you're probably still putting stuff in because I doubt you got to put everything you want to get put in defensively, offensively, out the timeouts, everything because you just couldn't do it. So are you kind of playing more basic and playing hard than put everything you want to put in right now?
Yeah, the thing with what we do is, I want to simplify things anyway, and we want to teach these guys how to play versus how to run a play. And when we run a play, it's so that we can go play. And these guys know that at FIU they're given a lot of freedom. They're given a green light to make decisions on the fly, to be a playmaker, and that's why they came here to be able to display their skills. So yeah, we're not overloading them with tons of sets, and as a coaching staff, we're certainly not trying to joystick these guys. We want to give them the knowledge, the freedom, the instincts to be able to go out there and play. Because if you can just play and you can play beyond the play that you call, that's the hardest thing to guard because you can't really scout that. So that's where we have really tried to put our emphasis.
How happy are you to start off 4-0 right now with a game Saturday against this North Florida and Matt Driscoll's team coming down there to see you guys? So how is it for you, man, seeing your guys get out to this good start here, knowing everything that's going on around them today? Persevered, and now they're already 4-0 in a weird 2020 season already.
Well, I've said this after every game. We're incredibly fortunate to have just played 4 games. There are still programs, a number of programs in the country that hadn't played 1 game yet, and don't know when their next game is going to be. So the fact that we've been able to play that many games is a testament to our administration, our athletic administration, our health officials, our athletic training staff, and ultimately our young men that have followed these COVID protocols and have shown extreme discipline to be safe so that we can go out and even have the chance to play. But, to be 4-0 is great. That's, I don't know that's ever really happened here at FIU. But, one thing I'll tell my team is they don't give out trophies for 4-0. So, we want to go 1 game at a time and just make sure we're improving each and every day and building towards the biggest goal of playing our best basketball come March.
Like the example is you had a back-to-back schedule with Jacksonville State, but that other game got canceled. So it's like that's the epitome of this year. You have something on the docket here, then it gets canceled or postponed or whatever. Then you have to figure out something else. So you might be preparing for one team, you got to prepare for somebody else to get a game real quick. So it's just like you're the epitome of what this year is going to be like in college basketball for sure.
Yeah, in fact, there's a good chance we might be playing a game Thursday. We're trying to work to get someone else on the schedule since we lost that game Sunday. So, it's just, but this is awesome because this is life. You don't know what's going to be thrown at you. You have to be able to respond. You have to be adaptable. You can't make excuses. We have a saying around here: excuses get you beat. So we don't accept that. We need to be able to respond and adapt. It's something we talk about. And work on all the time. And you're right, man, that's so symptomatic of what 2020 has been. But you know what? We only got a few more weeks in 2020. 2021 is going to be even better. So, we're optimistic. And again, we're incredibly grateful.
And how's recruiting for you guys via Zoom? I know you guys can go out to at least April 15th of next year. So how's recruiting via Zoom, via your staff, showing your beautiful campus via the computer? Because I know it's a beautiful campus over there you guys have. It's real nice over there by the water. So talk to us about how's that been.
Yeah, well, testament to these young men all over the country and young women and how quickly they adapted to, okay, this is the world we're living in. We can't go visit these campuses. So we have to be able to make decisions on just seeing campuses and facilities virtually. Only being able to meet coaching staffs virtually. And, they have adapted to that so quick. Our entire recruiting class that we brought in this year, who I'm incredibly proud of, and I have very high hopes for, we signed them all virtually. And we're doing the same thing now. I do think genuine relationships are genuine relationships. And I do think those can be felt through Zoom and over the phone. Like, hey, I've never met you in person. I know you're real. I know that. And vibes and energy can be felt through those things. And so that's the biggest thing. We just got to make sure that we're connecting with the young men that we're trying to recruit, that we're providing them with all the information about our program, our university, about our staff, about our team, so that they can make the best decision possible. And of course, it doesn't hurt to be located in Miami. And to be in a 305. So we have a lot to sell. It's not like people don't know about Miami. So it's more a matter of letting them know how special this place is and how FIU is intertwined with being in Miami.
So, Coach, how's your schedule going to be for this conference scheduling? Because I know USA, you all played 18, 20 games. You had that kind of where you play a certain number of games, then you re-slide them and then play them this many based on the record. So how's it going to be this year? It's going to be like usually was something different you guys doing this year.
Yeah, so we came up with a unique schedule to try to have the best safe practices for all of the student athletes, and that's instead of normally we have travel partners. So let's say FAU is our travel partner. So normally we would go play 2 travel partners, like Western Kentucky and Marshall are travel partners. So FIU would play Western Kentucky on Thursday while FAU plays at Marshall, and then we'd flip-flop. instead of doing that this year on Thursday and Saturday, we're playing Friday, Saturday, and we're playing the same team twice. So you mentioned earlier us playing Jacksonville State twice back-to-back. We also played Flagler twice back-to-back. That's great preparation for what we're going to have to do in conference play. So, like we opened conference play with ODU at home on Friday and Saturday. We played them both back-to-back games. So it's kind of like an NBA playoff series. It will be really unique. There'll be a lot of adjustments made from one game to the next. So I'm excited about it. I appreciate all the effort that the Conference USA officials and the coaches and athletic administrations all throughout the conference, all the work they put in to be able to make this possible.
Yeah, because man, it's gonna be interesting because your conference is so interesting because you go from way out to Texas up to Virginia, so it's not like a bus league. It's a charter flight maybe this week, a bus next week. So that travel, you guys, is really Conference USA for real because it's going from Virginia to Texas. It's really USA.
Yeah, it's an apt name because we're all over the country. It's an incredibly unique league. We have, we have one of the biggest conferences, or the biggest tied with a couple other biggest conferences in the country. So, and it's a diverse, unique league. I mean, lots of different playing styles. Lots of different types of institutions. So, this is the beast of a league. So, we got to try to do our best to be beast mode as well.
That's what I got for you, Coach. What has been your pandemic hobby? Mine's been playing the guitar. So what's been yours to kind of figure out to pass this time along here, man?
So what tracks you got? Who can you play on the guitar, man? You got me interested.
Man, look, I'm a beginner dude, but I'm trying to do some guitar hip hop rap stuff, man. That's what I'm trying to make a little hip hop beat off the guitar, man. That's my thing. I'm a hip hop artist. As aficionado, man, that's what I do. Literally being in Atlanta, so I'm trying to make it do what it do on that end. But yeah, it's been fun, man, and learning it virtually with my partner's been interesting because I don't have her here to show me. I'm having to watch her off the video, do it, and kind of mimic it and do it. So it's been interesting. It's been cool to help me kind of pass the time, not just be just bored all day, every day.
Right. No, that's great. I hadn't done anything as fun as that, but I tell you, I've just so blessed to be down here in Miami during this quarantine and just being in a place where, the weather was amazing. So I really got into walking. I really got back into fitness. Lost a lot of much needed weight. I still need to lose a lot more too. But so I got to taking long walks every day over the Venetian Bridge, towards Miami Beach, down in, downtown Brickell and just enjoying the sights, the sounds, the weather around here, and a lot of time for reflection, self-reflection, a lot of time for solitude, listen to podcasts, listen to music, catch up on the phone. There's a lot of things that I adopted during the quarantine that I will carry with me moving forward that I think can help me be more effective at everything that I do, career-wise and personally.
Most definitely, Coach. I think I'm gonna keep doing Zoom interviews now because I like it. I get to see you guys now, not just on the phone, So it's good to see you. Well, it's just talk to the phone. So I'm gonna keep this going on because I'm like, this is cool. Actually, I like this. just be on the phone with everybody now, so I can see you guys now.
Yes, sir. No, I love this Zoom, and I was wondering the same thing. It's like, man, why would we ever go back away from this? You can save a lot of money doing these Zoom interviews and connect in ways that you wouldn't have been able to do before.
Yeah, because I've been to Collins Square in a long time, since March. so that's what the studio is, Collins Square. I've been up there in a long time, so doing it here from my basement has been good for me. So I have to go up the road, up to the city.
Yeah, you got your own personal dungeon family going on. I love that.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, man, thank you for your time. I'll talk to a fellow ATLian, man. It's good to vibe with you always, my brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Stay safe out there, and I know you got a lot of endeavors coming up, and best of luck. Make sure you're staying healthy, and really appreciate you having me on.
We'll do, Coach, anytime, my brother.
Okay, take care now.